3, 2, 1.
Talk to me.
Oh my gosh. She's back. Hello, my lovelies. I am so excited. Friday Girly is definitely like a labor of love for me. I do love doing it. Sorry, it's just that there's not enough time in the day. But we're back. We are so back, baby. It is season 2. Last season kind of ended just like abruptly, and that's because I recorded a podcast where I interviewed one of my dearest besties on the entire planet. However, the platform that I used to interview her was making it so that you could only see one person at a time, and I really wanted to do it where it's like we're side by side having a conversation. So hopefully more interviews to come this year. It was so funny because I was just watching other podcasts just to like get inspiration, you know what I mean? Like see where I want season 2 to take me. And I'm like, I'm not looking for these like influencers or celebrities to interview. I honestly just want to like talk to my friends about things, especially motherhood, especially being able to create still. Like I just love creating things. Oh my gosh. I was wearing a t-shirt before I put this on and I didn't think you'd be able to see it. That's embarrassing. Okay. Well, it's going to bother me now. I just want to keep creating things. I want to keep learning. So guys, I missed you. I missed you so much. From last year to this year is like crazy because I think this time last year was when I was like, I'm doing it. I'm starting a podcast, and I put it all out there. And then I slowly just like retracted on it all. And then I think it was August or September where I finally came back with Friday Girly and was like, no, just do it. It's okay if it's not perfect. That is one of the biggest hurdles that I have to get over in my life, is realizing that right when I start things, it's not going to be perfect, but I just need to try it. Sorry. Oh my gosh. You know, when you're a mom and your baby's napping and you get like phantom cries, you're just like, wait, was that them? Anyway. So here we are, we're in season 2. I still need to update this sign. I know that it's not centered. It's not supposed to be centered because I was supposed to do like cool stuff here. We're still waiting on that. What else happened from last year to this year? Honestly, it's like a lot of the same, but like a lot not. I don't really believe in, it's not that I don't believe in them. I just like, I know that I'm not going to stick to a whole New Year's resolution. My goal was to try and do one sewing project a month. I do think I'm capable of that. I finally finished my Christmas quilt. Hopefully I can put a picture of it here. She's not as big as I thought, but she is mainly just for like decor. Like I just want to like put her over the couch come Christmas time, give it that like homey Christmas vibe, you know what I mean? So that's, I guess, it's a goal for 2025 is to create one thing a month. I have a class coming up in a week from now, a sewing class. I don't want to say what it is because I want to surprise y'all. I'm very excited though. It's something that's very me. It's not a grandma sweater, but it is very me. I'm going to have to take a break because I need to change this. 2025 also feels like the busiest year. Matt and I, between the two of us, we have 3 weddings, but it's all like very close family members. So we are traveling quite a bit this year, which makes, obviously, I love the fact that we travel back home a lot. But in addition to that, it makes it hard for us to like go and see new places because I do want to see my friends and family back home. And then we're like, are we ever going to get to Italy? And I think that's when we do just need to I just need to suck it up and be like, you know what? I'm not going to see friends and family for like, this half of the year, and I'll just have to wait and hopefully, see them at Christmas or something like that. So my goal for 2026 is to actually go to Italy, or where else is like one of my dream places? Ireland or Japan. Japan, I think, might be a little too far out there because I think it's a lot more expensive than anything else, but I really want to have like fresh sushi and all that stuff. So I travel for food mainly, which is why Ireland, it's on the list, but it's not like the top of the list. It's kind of like I would like to go to either Italy or Japan, but we'll see. I'm diving in here, you guys, but I forgot to do the drink docket. Boom, boom, shh. First things first, some lukewarm water to keep that uterus warm. Not sure if that's true, and I also stopped going to acupuncture, so up next I'm trying something a little crazy. I'm back on that kombucha train because it looked so good. This is Peach Paradise. Is it focusing? Peach Paradise Synergy, the real kombucha. I don't think you're supposed to shake it, but I think you do have to like swirl it a bit. Let's give her a go. Ooh, she smells good. She's good. Just something snuck into my, wow, into my soul there. But it's good. It's different. Is the benefits of kombucha just like the gut health? I think that's mainly it. I like this one. I think I like Synergy more than that other brand that I tried. That's delightful. Wow. We'll keep that. My drink docket is only 2 because I was like, Jamie, I don't think you need another coffee. But now that we're here, kind of wish I had another coffee. Okay, guys, let's jump into things. First things first, this whole LA fire situation. Honestly, thank you to everyone that reached out because I did really appreciate it. It's so funny because some people at my work were like, I'm hearing from cousins or friends from high school that I haven't spoken to in years. And it's like, relax. It's like they just want to say that they know someone that's like in the fires. And I was like, no, I genuinely think that people are like concerned. I love it when people reach out. I'm like, that's so sweet that you were thinking of me. And like, obviously my safety, like that you hear that there's fires in LA and you're just like, oh my gosh, I know Jamie's there. Like I should just reach out. Like, I think that's the sweetest thing ever. Whoever didn't reach out, if you're only listening, I'm just staring at the camera blankly. No, I'm just kidding. Am I? Who knows? It was scary. So I think it was the Tuesday I went to work and it was like, oh, this is weird. Like this is a thing. It is growing because that's when like the winds really picked up. And I started getting anxious because Ro is closer to like his daycare is closer to our home than it is our work. And I was like, we can't both be in Glendale while he's in a different area than us, you know? So I think Matt stayed home with him that day. And then the next day we switched off. And then, or Thursday, sorry, that must have been on Wednesday because I stayed home with him on Thursday. And so Thursday I was like, I just have a feeling I should go and get some just like groceries, like snacks for Rowan, just in case we do have to evacuate. Everyone kept telling me like there's a low chance you're gonna have to evacuate, so like don't worry about it. Tell me why I went to the grocery store and the shelves were empty. It was like COVID. I think I have a video of it. Let me hope that I can post it here. Yeah, the shelves were empty. There was no water anywhere because it was also contaminating people's water somehow. I don't know the science of it, but so I was like, I'm just gonna grab a flat of those like 24-pack individual water bottles. I know it's not good for the environment, but your girlie was stressed. It was like in COVID when you just started randomly grabbing stuff. Like at one point I grabbed beef jerky in COVID and I was like, I don't even eat beef jerky, but like what if there's nothing else to eat? So anyway, Thursday I'm at the grocery store and all of a sudden the alerts go on our phone and I look down and I'm like, oh my God. And it says evacuation order. And I'm like, I look at everyone and like no one's really moving. So then I look at my fire app and it doesn't show a fire anywhere close to us. So I was kind of like, okay, weird. So I call Matt and I'm still like grabbing stuff because I was like, well, regardless, I need to get stuff for Ro. And if anything, like I'm like right beside our grocery store is right beside our apartment. So like I can grab the stuff and like get in the car and evacuate. So I call Matt and he's like, we got that too, which doesn't make sense because we're like, I don't know the miles, maybe 10 miles apart. So he was like, don't worry, but like, I'm going to come home now regardless. I was like, sounds good. So Ro and I get home and he was tired. He did fall asleep at the grocery store for a second, which was crazy for him. And I was like, okay, like, let me just try and put him down. So I go to put him in his crib and I left my phone outside of the room specifically because I was like, if he falls asleep, I don't want him to wake up if there's another alert. So I put him in his crib, and as he's crying, because he's going through a sleep regression, more on that later, I'm like, oh my God, I hear an alert go off. And in my head is like being like, what if it's saying, get out now? So I'm like, I have to leave you. So I left him in his crib, wailing his ass off. I go and I see my phone. I kid you not, the text emergency alert said, JK, my bad. Ignore the first one. Fire that man. Fire that man. I know it was a man. Girls reread their texts a million times before we send it out, especially when we're on the job. Absolutely, that was a man and he needs to be fired and tried in a court of law, in the court of his peers, actually in my court. Anyway, Matt got home. All was well. Friday night comes around and I'm like, you know what? It's been a stressful week. Let me crack a bottle of wine, a little bottle of vino, a little bottle of red for your girl JJ. So crack her open. I'm enjoying my first glass. I honestly thought it was a mid bottle when I got it. And when I was drinking it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually a really good bottle of wine. Slay. Then I'm sitting there and I'm looking and I see that there's another fire notice. It's not an evacuation, but it's just like a notice of where the fires are. Encino, which is the city beside me, is on got an evacuation notice. So I'm like, wait, we could get evacuated tonight. Matt's had a drink. I was gonna have a bottle. Just kidding. I was gonna have a couple. Okay. But no, we need to be safe and smart about this. So I sealed that wine back up after. I didn't even have a full glass, you guys. I had like I think I had like a half glass. Sealed her back up. And I was like, well, like if the alert goes off, like I'll obviously wake up. So go to bed. There was no alert. We didn't have to get evacuated. That was the closest night that we got to evacuation. And like I was on edge. Like I told Matt, I was like, can you put the suitcases and everything in the car so that when we do have to go, we just have to grab Elvis and Rowan. Like that's it. We had all of our like important documents in his backpack so we could like run out. Apparently it's a thing to have a fireproof case to put all your important documents in. I didn't know that was a thing. No one told me that was a thing. There's a lot of stuff that I feel like people are like, oh, it's common sense, but then they don't share it. If you don't share it, how can it be common? Do you know what I mean? Oh, I need another peach little sipsies there. This is delish. I'm enjoying this. Ooh. She'll get you, but she's good. I like that. So that was the fires. The fires are still going on, but it is dying down, obviously. I do have some coworkers or friends of that unfortunately lost their homes or their businesses, which is just like so devastating. And then obviously the air quality is like a whole other gambit, which is wild. The whole Pasadena fire is like so crazy. Honestly, I don't understand like half of it with like the winds and then people being like, no, it's not going to jump a freeway. I'm like, fires can do anything. It's Mother Nature. Anyway, another devastating situation this week was the loss of TikTok. People are like asking why I deleted the app because that's new for me. That's something that's so crazy. I've had it since 2020. It's been my lifeline, especially through pregnancy. I would fall asleep just scrolling. Through breastfeeding in the middle of the night, I would just be scrolling. I learned so much from that app. However, I did listen to a podcast that had a lawyer on it to explain everything to us simple-minded people. And she was saying that so if the US does keep it, which it now has, they have to use a different algorithm and I think different cell towers, which means, or not cell towers, but like data centers or something. I can't remember the actual lingo, which basically means that it's not going to be the TikTok that we know, we love, we obsessed with. So I was just like, I might as well cut it off cold turkey now. In my opinion, it's like somebody trying to make a dupe of something and like it's not quite it. And I feel like once you've had the real thing, you just can't have a dupe. You know what I mean? So I deleted her. Instagram Reels, it's just like the scrolling of it sucks. Like the Reels are obviously good content, but like finding, like there's no algorithm there. There's nothing helping me there. It's devastating. it's upsetting. It's the world that we live in right now. I think I'm just going to be pushing like YouTube content and obviously IG, but I can't. I'm also in like this weird tug of war or internal war, I guess, of what to post when it comes to Roe. That is like the biggest struggle. And I've heard so many other content creators, like I'm a big content creator, but you know what I mean. And just like parents in general, just being like, yeah, I don't really know. Because like there was someone that said that some Instagram user took all of the photos that she posted of her daughter and made their own account of her daughter. Like that's weird and scary to me. And it's so hard because I want to show people, like, I'm like, this kid is so beautiful, so amazing, so smart. I just like love showing him off on there, like the little things that he does. But I'm just like, I think I need to go back to just sending those videos to people or like FaceTiming people instead of posting it for the internet. So I think that my IG account will mainly be a variety girly account and just kind of like the arts and crafts that I'm doing. And if you want to see Roe, call me up, okay? Call a bitch up. Let's go. Guys, I'm still on the beef tallow train and my skin has never looked so amazing. I haven't had a breakout since 09, just kidding. But since September. Like the only weird pimple situation that I got was because I thought I saw a blackhead and I picked at it and it wasn't. It was nothing. And then, or it was like 2 under the surface. And that night I just dosed that spot, especially with beef tallow, and then obviously still the rest of my face. And I kid you not, it was healed in like 3 days, as opposed to before it would probably take a week. So get on beef tallow TikTok, beef tallow. You will love it. The place that I ordered mine from Toronto is of course out. So look at the ingredients before you order anything. Just make sure that it's like the good stuff, not like all the filler, if you know what I mean. Oh my God, that was weird for a second. Okay. Small break. Sorry, I need a little me moment, if you will. Up next, you guys, we're diving into the reality TV of it all. First things first, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kyle was 1000% in the wrong. 1000% in the wrong. Why are you DMing your friend's ex-husband? It's also weird that they've ever sent memes to each other. I don't know one of my friends' partners that I would ever be sending memes back and forth to. No. And the thing is, like Paige said in the Summer House reunion of last year, when Sierra and Wes were no longer talking, Paige said, she's my best friend. When she's done with you, so am I. When she's done with you, so am I. Kyle, get it together. It's a joke. I'm obsessed with Bozeman. Crazy because we both had fibroids. I think we should be besties. How do I get into the group? You know what I mean? Also, someone posted a photo of Garcelle back in the day. Obviously, Garcelle is stunning forever. Garcelle, when she first popped out on the scene, holy moly, that woman. My goodness. Like, stunning, gorgeous. Like, want to throw up. If you guys aren't watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, what the fuck are you doing? Because this is where reality TV is at its finest, purest, most amazing form. The way that the women are going at each other is so crazy. So Mary is just so unhinged in like the best way possible. It's almost like she's a little kid with like what she says, and you're like, no, you actually shouldn't say that. It's like super rude. But she's just like, I don't care. But she had this moment with Angie in last week's episode where she was upset that Angie comforted a girl that she doesn't like. Because Angie comforted Brittany, which, like, I honestly don't even want to talk about Brittany because I find her so annoying. I honestly don't need her on my screen. I think that's absolutely crazy that you don't have a relationship with your daughters. Like, that's absolutely crazy to me. And that you say that you've always prioritized your, like, love life over your relationship with your kids. Like, you shouldn't have kids. You should never have had kids then. That's crazy. So I don't even want to give her the time of day. I honestly stand with Mary on the way that she's like, I don't like this girl. I'm not friends with her. However, I don't stand with her when she was like, I'm not friends with Angie anymore because she comforted Brittany. But the way that they just had this open, like their hearts were open at this dinner, this dialogue where like Angie was like, I care about you. Like, you've changed me and like, I love you and you've changed me. And that got Mary to open up and be like, my mom never liked me. I was abandoned by my dad. So I just have abandonment issues. And like, they just like had this like beautiful open conversation instead of Angie just being like, well, I'm done with you too then. Like, Angie was just like, no, no, no. Like, don't be done with me. Like, I love you. It was so beautiful. It was girlhood at its finest. I want us all to do that. Um, the whole Whitney versus Lisa of it all. I know some people are Lisa stans. I don't need her. I don't need Lisa or Meredith on my TVs. Like, I just find them both so insanely fake that I'm just like, you're just not your authentic self. So it's like so annoying. Um, Heather is like funny. She's comic relief. You always need her. So Salt Lake City, New York, the absolute shit show that is Real Housewives of New York. Uba is a child in the worst way possible, and Uba absolutely needs so many rounds of therapy. I could not ever coexist in a friend group with someone like that because the way that her emotions just take absolute control of her and she says the most vile things. I think she's around 40 and it's like, really? Like, you can't even, like, I understand, like, honestly, we all say vile things to our best friend, like, when we're getting stuff off our chest, but, like, to be sitting there and she's not even thinking, like, oh, I shouldn't say that. She's just saying absolutely everything. And it's, like, such a bare minimum quality to, like, when someone brings you to a spot that they're like, this is where I used to go as a kid with my family, to not be saying how disgusting it is. Like, read the room. So I'm excited for that to be over with. I don't know what they're going to do with next year's Real Housewives of New York. I heard that Brynn quit. She posted about it. Like, so she definitely quit. So we'll see what happens with that cast. Let's see. That was Beverly Hills, Salt Lake. Oh, Southern Charm. Oh my gosh. The Craig and Paige breakup, you guys. I really did not see that coming. I honestly thought she was going to post like, we got married. We had a very intimate, private wedding. And then I listened to her podcast and she's like, so Craig and I decided to separate. I mean, it was obviously her that broke up with him. Because if you saw his post, he's like, I'm dealing with heartbreak right now. As much as I loved them together, because like Craig was like, I love that little weirdo. And Craig just like loved Paige. It also seems that Craig just really wants to get married and have kids, and he will like slide anyone into that slot. So I would not be surprised if he wasn't engaged in a year to somebody else, which is wild because no one will be Paige. So that's interesting. People were like trying to guess what kind of guy Paige would date next. I honestly think Paige is going to be single for probably like a year. Because she was saying on her podcast, like, she's like, I'm feeling myself again. Like, I'm listening to music again. I have a slicked back ponytail. Like, I'm back. And I love that for her. And I'm so excited because over Christmas, I just like got these weird vibes. And I was like, I think I need to go see Giggly Squad again. So I messaged my girlies and I was like, let's go to Vegas for Giggly Squad show. And they said yes. So myself, my friend Nicole, and my friend Laura are going to go to Vegas for 2 nights. I'm so excited. It's in March. Obviously, I'll be I want to say vlogging about it, but like I've never vlogged before, but maybe I should give her a go. I think I need to do like vlog with like an actual camera, not my phone. So maybe we'll try and give that a go. I am so excited because I just want to go to Vegas to eat. I love their restaurants. We're trying to go to Carbone. We're trying to go to STK. And I know people are like, you have STK in LA. From what I've heard, it's not the same. I went to the one in Vegas before and I absolutely loved it. And there is, I think it's like something Bouchon in the, oh my God, what's the one with the fountains? I can't remember, of course, but there's a really good breakfast spot there. I had it like, I think it must have been like 10 years ago, which is crazy, but it was so good. So I'm like, I have to go back to this place. And there's a donut place there that I'm obsessed with. Yes, I travel for food. I told you guys that in the beginning. Guys, I think I'm going to have to get more of these. It's delish. So yeah, Giggly Squad Tour round 2 happening March. I think it's 8th. I'm so pumped. Very excited about that. Summer House is starting on, I think it's February 15th. I could not be more excited because I just listened to a podcast with Lindsay Hubbard on it, and she was saying that it was her best summer yet. And I feel like it was because she was pregnant and not drinking, and maybe she should listen to that back, and maybe she should really think about that, because her and Paige apparently were really close this summer, which is like so awesome because we love Paige. So we'll see what happens there. To wrap this all up in a little bowski, I just want to push forward with my podcast this year. I want to post more. I want to just like create things, more content, more sewing projects. I might be scaling back on the Java with Jamie because I keep going to these viral coffee shops, and maybe that's my problem, and they are just not hitting, and your wait's so long, and I can't do a negative review. Like, I just feel so bad doing a negative video review. I write Google reviews like nobody's business, and it has like my literal full name on it, and I say it with my chest. But like a video one, I just feel so, I don't know, I just can't do that yet. And the last couple I went to just like weren't it. I'm also hooked on Dutch Bros right now, which is just, I think it's mainly just creamer, but I love it. Call me a creamed up girly. I love that. So I might cut back on that. I also feel like I should actually just like make my own little coffee station and like make my own coffees. That makes sense, right? Some traveling we have coming up is we're going to Palm Springs with our friends in a couple weeks. I am so excited because our whole plan there is thrifting and chilling and enjoying each other's company, which is the best. We're going to hit up the Palm Springs Vintage Market. And if you know me, you know I love vintage finds. So the Palm Springs Vintage Market is my Disneyland. But I also want to go to Disneyland this year, but more on that later because Matt's like, I would rather not. I think I just do want to explore California more. We're going to Edmonton in April for 10 days. I could scream with excitement because I found the cutest little Easter sweater vest. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. This is why TikTok can't go away. I made the best connection with someone over TikTok. She was doing a thrift haul, and the first thing I noticed was that she had a quilt rack, and I commented being like, oh my god, I love that. I wanted to get one when I was in Northern California, but I didn't, and I honestly wish I grabbed it. She commented back, whatever. I only watched that bit of the video. Then I see the freeze frame was a sweater vest, and I'm like, oh my god, I have that thing for sweater vests, especially sport sweater vests, and hers is a baseball sweater vest. So I scroll through I'm like, this is the best sweater vest ever. I need it. I messaged and I'm like, hey, if you are selling this sweater vest, I am your buyer. Please, I beg. She said she got it because her friend loves baseball and she'll let me know if it doesn't fit her friend, she'll sell it to me. I'm like, okay, bet. Then I wait and I'm like dying. I'm like, she probably forgot. Like, it's fine, whatever. And my friend Jessa like commented on it being like, what's happening with the sweater vest thing? Like, I need to know. And then she messaged me privately saying, hey, if you want it, it's yours. You just have to pay for shipping. And now I just have to wait for her to get it back from her friend. And like, when I tell you this is a dream come true, I love sports sweater vests. I now have baseball, basketball, golf, and football. Well, I don't have the baseball one yet, but soon. I haven't seen a hockey one, but if I do, I'm so excited for it. Then I'll have everything because I'm not a big soccer fan, guys. I don't need a soccer one. I did see a tennis one and I wish I got it and I didn't. So Depop will be the death of me because I'm so obsessed with scrolling on there. Thank God it's not like videos of people posting their stuff because I would be scrolling forever like on TikTok. And that's just me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Also, I think I'm going to start doing Variety Girly only twice a month because I don't want it to be something that I'm like like I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it. Okay, sorry about that. My card was full, but now to wrap everything up in a cutesy little bow. I think I already said this on here, but yes, I hope to just be putting content out every other Tuesday. Maybe sometimes you'll get hit twice. Who knows? I mean, if podcasting was my full-time job, I absolutely would be having like 2 or 3 episodes a week talking about reality TV, talking about the different things that I'm creating. I would love that. I hope to get someone interviewed. This is the season that I interview someone and I put it out there for surezies, and I love that. Yes, thank you so much for tuning in. I love to chit chat with y'all, and I will see you next Tuesday, hopefully.